To the Stars Academy. Really? Bang, zoom. Somebody cue the music. Hey, this is UFO report number 99. I am Manny Moonraker, and I've been missing in action. We didn't do a second episode last week because I got a little busy and I could not get it together Friday and Saturday. Unfortunately, when I went to record on Sunday, I happened to come across the article about video number 3, the Go Fast video, released by To the Stars Academy. And oh my, just like I figured. Just like I've been saying the last few weeks. That shit was depressing. Some of you might be excited about it. You might be tickled pink. But when I get into the meat of this, please, don't get the panties in a wad. It is what it is. Take what I gotta say with a grain of salt. Pick yourself up by your big girl panties and just be okay with it. Because I'm gonna share my opinion on it. And I can say that it hasn't changed regarding To the Stars Academy and its cronies. But in the meantime, if you want to reach me, like so many other people have, wondering where the hell is Manny Moonraker, it is at the Facebook pages Manny Moonraker and UFO Buster Radio. You could also reach me through Twitter at UFO Buster Radio and on Instagram, where they post all the little pictures. At Manny Moonraker. And by the way, I'm going to do a little PSA. If you find the link for Spreadshirt for the UFO Buster Radio t-shirts, don't go there. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to get rid of Spreadshirt because the quality is just no bueno. It is not good as of late. Now, the first few shirts that they, put out or whatever, I even purchased some of them. They were good. But these last few, sorry guys, you're not cutting it. And after talking to them for a couple of weeks, it turns out they are not going to be the ones printing or producing shirts or what have you for UFO Buster Radio. But there is a new company that I've been in talks with, and that will be coming shortly. So needless to say, when I came across this article over the weekend, I was like, it was weird. I was like FML and I was like LMAO all at the same time. It felt like I was having my own Sybil moment. I felt like I was vindicated. It was a bunch of bullshit, this video. But at the same time, I felt let down. I felt let down by ufology, by To the Stars Academy, and all the rubber dickers who are out there like just pushing these guys like they're the next best thing to, the wheel or putting butter on your biscuit or something like that. So I have 2 links in the description so that you can check this out. If you haven't already, I'm sure most of you have already heard of it or seen it somewhere. And basically, To the Stars Academy is the first link. Why not go back to the originator of the craziness? I'll send you that link in the description. It is the Go Fast page. And it's a video from 2015 from an F-18 Super Hornet. The Super Hornet is using a Raytheon system. And so they go through this entire explanation of what you're looking at, kind of like the difference between the other videos and what this particular system is trying to pick up and basically use to identify the target. As in the other video, this one particular unidentified flying object is, of course, kind of tic-tac-ish, right? That candy you just ate. The article says the unidentified vehicle appears as a white oval shape moving at high speed from top to right to the lower left of the screen, flying very low over the water. Now, as you recall in the other 2 videos, there was an explanation tied to them saying that some of these objects were actually coming in and out of the water, going from dropping down into the water and coming back up at amazing speeds up to like 30,000 feet in the air. So the video pretty much, it's extremely short. Now, To the Stars Academy has added this whole explanation so that you can figure out what the hell it is that you're looking at that Raytheon, at the Raytheon display. So they're going to explain it to you step by step in the video. You don't even have to read the article. Just look at the video. You know, the little arrows here, little dots there. I mean, it's a great presentation. Now they take it and then they show you the video. The actual UFO video is extremely short, right? But what they're showing you is that the individual that's messing with the system, trying to lock on to this target, and which eventually it does happen. The system, due to contrast in the little oval-shaped thingy being over the water, eventually does lock onto it, which it sends the pilots, and so those guys get all elated because they actually lock onto it. Now they do say quite a few times that this object is moving extremely fast. What the To the Stars Academy article and the video, well, I guess it's more the article, but they give you the video so that you can figure this out. The one thing that the article does from To the Stars Academy is that it really gives you an idea of what a normal plane would look like. If you remember, a few weeks ago, we had some individuals who were so-called scientists saying that all that the other videos caught was basically another airplane. This time around, To the Stars decided they're going to show you what another airplane looks like under one of these FLIR cameras. So in this article by them, they actually have another F-18 behind a FLIR camera. So they point out what the exhaust looks like, what the wings look like, etc., etc., bada bing, bada boom. With that, they make sure that they say that in that video, the Go Fast video, there are no obvious wings or tails to this oval-shaped object. And they actually even go as far as saying that any infrared image of something like a cruise missile would still have visible wings at the range that the camera was from this unidentified flying object. So they're saying it's not a missile. Someone wasn't, testing something and decided to, screw around and make it look like it's some kind of a UFO. The other thing they do when they put up their example of the F-18 Hornet on their, behind that FLIR camera, is that they show you what an exhaust plume looks like behind an airplane. And then they point out that there is no exhaust plume coming from the object in that Go Fast video. So in addition to the To the Stars link, there's also a Washington Post article from March 9th, which actually talks about the entire situation. That's also linked in the description for you if you want to check it out. Basically, what can you do? This is where we're at. This is what it is. In many ways, if it wasn't for the explanation that they added, trying to clear up the whole thing with the, people assuming that it's another airplane in these videos, it really wouldn't be worth the time to even look at it, to be honest. Instead, this is probably the first video they should have put out, not the last. And maybe left that video which showed the up close to this object and it rotating. That one probably should have been the icing on the cake, but because it seemed to be like an out of order, it's really lackluster. It doesn't really do anything for the argument. And basically, we are still at square one, but To the Stars has $2 million to show for it. And I'm going to continue to push this whole they've got the money thing because that's basically what's going on. They've got the big bucks and we still have no answers. So you've got to make the call. Is this enough for you? Are these 3 videos enough for you to say that they're on to something? You just got to take it. You just got to take it and just say they are onto something, but is it really anything different that we've seen in the past? There's nothing groundbreaking here. As Big O would say, there is no smoking gun. We've seen videos like these in the past. There isn't an aha moment here. Maybe in a few months when they decide to release some more, maybe we'll get that. Maybe we'll get that final definitive answer to what exactly To the Stars Academy is going to do for us, because I still don't see it. Maybe they'll invent their own UFO. Maybe, that's what they said, right? They're going to invent their own freaking experimental aircraft. Maybe they'll come out with a TR-3B. And it'll have a stage so that Blink-182 can perform while it flies. So that's it for that article. Like I said, check out the links. You make up your own decision. And whether you agree or disagree, you can hit me up. Send me a message. Tell me what you think. The one thing about the To the Stars Academy situation is that it keeps the conversation going. Not necessarily, in my opinion, where I think it should be. But eventually, these guys put this organization together for a reason. We just have to figure out what the fuck that reason is. Because I still don't get it. Now, in the last episode, or the episode before that, we talked about J-Rob. J-Rob left some disparaging information or comments in one of the episodes. We heard from J-Rob again, and he says, basically, he apologized. He says, sorry for the harsh words. And, J-Rob, I appreciate that. I get it. Sometimes we get really passionate about ufology, UFOs, aliens, and probing and all that goodness. But it's okay to be that way. Just don't rubber dick me on the comments. If you have comments to make, you know where to find me. I gladly would have you on, anybody else comments on the podcast, so that everyone can hear it across all of the platforms. With that said, this is really the only article we're going to talk about today because everything is 4.2 far ridiculous. This is all people are talking about right now. It's something else. It is something else. But as a follow-up, I do have 2 interviews coming up for you guys in the near future. Thanks to Big O and also to Ronnie Dawson, who arranged someone that I think is going to be a real treat for everyone. Because he's got some experience behind his type of research and what he does. We should be in contact with him soon to arrange that time. But what can you do? This is what we deal with. So until we get the real good evidence from somebody out there, we have to go to the people. Now, lastly, we also had Carlos on here from Michigan, and he told us his UFO stories regarding, the coastal area of Lake Michigan. But he also told us about a story from the 80s where there is a YouTube video in which people, basically, there is recording of people calling, the cops and so forth, reporting some crazy ass lights in the damn sky. It turns out to be one of the most famous Michigan area UFO stories. So we're going to also have that on the next episode. Not really sure when the next episode is going to be. Probably this coming Sunday. I do have to splice it and dice it because, people don't like this type of content to be out there and used in other avenues or shows. So I do have to splice it to make sure that we only include the actual recordings from, the public service people. So with that said, this is number 99. If you guys have an opinion about this stuff, feel free to share it. I'd be glad to hear it. Have a conversation. We'll chat about it. And To the Stars, I hope the next one is better than this because it's just nothing. Ciao.